everyone, welcome back to today's video. So I'm going to be doing the eyeshadow palette lovers tag, and I saw Nikki Raven do this. I think she did it about a year ago because I've been watching a lot of her videos lately, and I just thought, oh, what a nice idea. And she put all the questions in the description box, so I've wrote them all down on here and the answers on the other side. So you will hear some flipping of paper here and there, but we'll get on with this. I did do a palette tag sort of video, must be around 2 years ago now, and it's a little bit different from that, quite a bit different from that. So yeah, so I'm going to stop waffling and get into it. So the first question is a palette I regret that I didn't buy. Now, I regret not buying this palette here, and it's the Age of Opulence by Beauty Bay. When it came out a few months ago, I had my eye on it, and I thought, oh, when Christmas comes and I get the Christmas money from my mum, because she always gives me some money. And then I went onto the website to order the Nikki tutorials one, and we know what happened there. And this is nowhere to be seen. It's not even got a thing where it says out of stock. It's just not there anymore. And Depop haven't got it either. And I really regret not buying it. I love all the purples and the blues. A few of the neutrally shades. You've got a brown or two there. Let's have a look at it. A brown or two, yeah, and a gold. And I just really like it, and I can't get it. And I really regret not getting it sooner. I should have picked that up. I really should. So the next one is a palette that I regret buying. Now that one is, unfortunately, and I know for a few people this works for them, but this is the Taillamarii palette. And I didn't pay a lot for it. It went down to £3 on Revolution website. And if I take that piece of that sheet with the names on there, this one, I really regret buying it. I mean, I love this shade. This is a lovely green highlight. I really like it. And I like this, but this will be more suited to me for eyeshadow because it's too dark for a highlighter. But yeah, the shimmers are a bit hard panned. There's not enough matte shades to interest me really. I ummed and ahed a lot on getting this, and I really should have just said no. So yeah, I really regret buying it. It's just don't get used, and I know I can sort the hard pan out, and I'm going to do that anyway because I'm going to give it a good go at some point. But by the end of the year, if I haven't got it to work or used it, I think it's just going to have to go. But yeah, I will put this onto the group for the ladies to see, and if they do want to have it, I will send it to them, because I think someone else should get the love from this, because I'm not feeling it. But it's not going to be till the end of the year, so I will see if I can get it to work. It might be sooner than the end of the year, because if I don't get it to work at a certain point, I'm just going to let it go anyway, but I will tell you about that. It's a shame. He seems a lovely guy. He doesn't talk much English on his videos because he's Italian, but I still put the videos on because he's really good. Just a shame that palette just didn't work for me. A palette I haven't used as much as I thought, and it is this little palette here, the Sweet Like Candy. This is my colours. This is my colour story. This is what I reach for a lot of times. And yeah, it's beautiful. It works really well. There's not any issues with it. But I am really shocked. I just haven't reached for it a lot. Probably used it 3 or 4 times, and that is it really. And I bought this last year. Yeah, I just haven't used it as much as I thought I would. And it's a shame because it really is a beautiful palette. So I'm going to try and get some use out of that. And I know it's a really tiny colour, really tiny palette. As you can see, I've only got small hands and it really fits well there. So yeah, I've got to get some use out of that because it's just beautiful. It really is. Right then, palette I haven't used much. A palette I use more than I thought. And that is this Revolution Forever Flawless palette, the Affinity one. I didn't think I'd use this as much as I have. I really thought I'd be like the other palettes 1 or 2 times, stuck in the drawer, not used for once sort of thing. This is how this palette looks now. I've not used it in a good few weeks because I'm trying to get through what I've put in for Team Project Pan. And yeah, I've just not gone in with it for a bit, but I still adore this, and if I get this out again, I know I'm just going to keep using it because it's one of the palettes that really speak to me. And you can see it's only the certain shades, that one. I have used that one, this one. I use that quite a bit because I likes me a bit of glitter, and I've used that quite a bit. And this one loads, if I haven't shown you already, although you can see that. And yeah, so I'm really surprised how much I use this. Really surprised. And I picked that up for £6 on Amazon when they reduced it to half price. So yeah. My favourite half neutral, half colourful palette. And that is question 5. And that one I chose this one here, which is the I Heart Revolution chocolate palette. And it looks like this. Now, I know a few of you would probably disagree with me, maybe, that it's not really half neutral, half colourful. But in my collection, I either have neutral or I have colourful. It doesn't actually go somewhere in the middle. But I do think this is kind of half neutral, half colourful to me. And I might be cheating, but I don't care. And because you've got the browns and you've got this bit here, which I think is more neutral to me. I also call that grey neutral, and that neutral. That's neutral. I'd say that's neutral. So you see where I'm going with this. And then I've got all the colours. So yeah, I'd say that is half neutral and half colourful. And I haven't played with this enough yet. The formula isn't the best, to be fair, but it's not the worst either. And I just like it. So, well, actually, I've not actually used it enough to say I like it, but it's all right. It's very pleasing. So, yeah. So that one's that one. The next question. A palette I bought for the packaging. And that is this palette here. The packaging, we'll try that again. The packaging just got me. It just got me. This is the Taillamarii or something like that. I can't pronounce that, to be honest. See it in the back better. Yeah, it's made in China. Anyway, I picked this up off Amazon because that seems to be the main place I buy palettes because of the free shipping with Prime. And yeah, so that side looks like that. And then you've got that to flip over, and then you've got this side. Now this looks really pleasing, it really does, but the shimmers are a bit meh, to be fair. the mattes work better. The mattes are actually okay, but if I put on a sticky base, I can get them shimmers to work, or if I wet the brush, I can also get them shimmers to work. So it's not completely a dud. I've found a way of working with it, but I wouldn't purchase it again if I knew then what I know now, basically. But yeah, it's okay. And I may have had a look for a downer on saying the Chinese palette from China, because I've kind of, with what I've read and everything, I've kind of swayed a bit towards not getting any of the palettes from China anymore. I will still continue to purchase UCB, because basically, apart from their fantasy palette, you know, everything's been fine. So anyway, that's not what this video is about. I will get the words out one day, I promise. Number 7. A palette you like the shimmers more than the mattes. And that is this Rev Pro palette. And it is called Regeneration's Trends Mischief Maker. And it looks like this. Now, I haven't used this a hell of a lot of times before December time, when I was just using one palette for 5 days sort of thing. You may have seen all my looks on Instagram as I was posting my mug on a daily basis. I think you must have got bored of seeing my face, because I know I did. So anyway, it was kind of a project for me to just post every day on my Instagram. I've failed to since, but you know. Anyway, so yeah, this is a Rev Pro palette. I'm just checking the paper, I don't know why. Yeah, the shimmers are actually stunning, because I had to put tape over it and stop the hard pattern, and once I did that, it was fine. And this is a beautiful palette, but I do prefer the shimmers. There aren't a lot of matte shades in here. I'm not saying they're bad, but the reason why I've chose it that way is because it could do with more matte shades, and it's a bit disappointed. It's mainly all shimmers. I like a bit of a mixture, preferably more mattes in my opinion, because you do tend to use your matte shades more. So yeah, that's where I place that one. Ooh. So, a palette that you like more than, hang on, I'll try that again. A palette that you like the mattes more than the shimmers. Now, this one might surprise a lot of you. I'm not saying I don't love this palette, but it's the Beauty Bay Origins palette. Let's get this opened up. Ooh. Bigger than my face. So the shimmers are okay. Some of them are quite nice, to be fair, but they're not mind-blowing. They're just not mind-blowing for me. I love all the mattes much better. They are smooth and soft and so nice to work with. They blend really easily, but the shimmers are a slight letdown, to be fair, a real slight letdown. And I'm not going to swatch it now for you, because one, you've probably seen these swatches of this palette before, and two, this video will be twice as long. So yeah, I do prefer the mattes in this palette. They just work better in my opinion. Ow. And try not to trap your finger in it when you close it. So we have question 9. A palette that happily surprised you. Now, I'm cheating a little bit here. Because today is the first day I've actually tried this palette. And it's very new to me. And it's the Morphe 35 XO Natural Flirt palette. Now, the reason why I've popped this in to this tag video is because is because I've heard a lot of things from Morphe that they're a bit hit and miss, and they're quite, a lot of them are really bad and, you know, and not workable and dry and just not very pigmented. And this came out at the back end around November time of 2020. And by the time Christmas was over and we got into 2021, no, before 2021, that week between Christmas and New Year's, I wanted this because I'd seen other YouTubers review it and it looked really nice, and it's a colour story I'd go for, and I could not pick this palette up for the life of me anywhere. Now, those palettes looked a bit different with packaging because they re-released it for the Christmas edition, so the box was different and this front part was different. It was cardboard packaging more than this plastic stuff, and I would have preferred, to be honest, to have the cardboard packaging because of eco-friendly and all that, but you know, I'm not mad about it, and I just got the standard black box, but it's fine, it is fine. And so anyway, I couldn't get it anywhere, it just sold out, so I forgot about it. And then after Christmas this year, I just thought, oh, hang on a minute, that palette. I had a voucher from Feel Unique because I bought some samples before. It was due to run out. It was just the $3.95 they credit back into your account when you get your samples, so you get your postage back. And I thought, well, I would like to pick something up with it rather than just let it run out and go, because you only have about 2 months before it expires. And I was looking through the Morphe palettes and I was going to get some £9 ones, and then this one turned up and I just went, that's the palette I want. That's the palette I've been wanting for all of this time. So £24, because when you get the updated packaging one, it's £25. I thought, well, that weren't on there at the time. It is now. And I thought, why would you pay £1 just for a box? So, anyway. So, yes, I picked this up. Plus, I had 10% off Morphe products already in there, because you can choose two brands to get 10% off when you buy from them. So, I chose Morphe. And so this was there, and I ended up getting nearly £7 off, so that was good. So yeah, and this arrived not yesterday actually, but by the time this video goes up, it won't be yesterday, it will be a few days back. Yeah, this colour story is just a bit of me. I like all the neutrally browns and then the peachy colours, and going into the pinks and then the purples. It's just me all over, and it has happily surprised me, because all that rep about Morphe and everything, you know, with the poor quality, etc, etc, and I use it today and create this look, and I am in love with it. There is no kickback in the pan at all from them mattes. None at all. And I've not had that in the palette. And a little bit with the shimmers, but nothing major. So yeah, this has happily surprised me. Really surprised me. I was not expecting it. At all. Really wasn't expecting that. And the last question is a palette with the most interesting colour story. Now, I think you know where I'm going to go with this. I'm not quite sure if you do, but I chose the Beauty Bay Brights palette. This just makes me happy to look at it, to be honest. It's just so interesting. A lot of you will go, well, what's interesting by a bunch of rainbow colours? But to me, that is what makes it interesting, weirdly enough. But I also like the fact is they've given you a few little neutrals, but then you've got all your pinks going along that row, your reds and your oranges that way, you got your greens and your yellows, and then a deep purpley blue going all the way into the blues, and as you can see the purple's going into the large purple. What's not to love? And I've used this quite a lot of times. I have to tell you, when this was in my shop, my stash, I carried it over for another month. I think I carried it over for another month. Actually, I'm not quite sure I did. No, that was the Infinity palette. But this one, I used it no end during that month. Just used it and used it and used it. So, yeah. So, this is the palette I really love for that question, which was most interesting colour story. Yeah, I think this is the most interesting colour story. So there we go, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do all the good stuff. I'm going to see you again next time. Goodbye, everyone.